Okay, Amy, good to see you. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Well, you're fresh off uh, joining me on a call with our clients yesterday, you being one of them, where you shared your journey, and I said, let's have another call and let's just break this down because it was your journey is so inspiring, and I wanted more people to hear about it. So that's why I thought we'd join together today and go through it. Now, you've been with us 6 months, right?
Yes.
And you are a little bit of a hustler. You got quite a few things going on, but you were at a bit of a point before you joined us 6 months ago. And for the for everybody watching this, you've been in the industry quite a while. I'd love you to tell everybody a little bit about your journey being in the industry. You've been in the industry a little bit of a while. You've got another business venture, but you also then wanted to do the online side as well, which is very inspiring because you've got a family, and a lot of people are like, I can't juggle everything and grow a business, but you have. So just give us a little bit of a background of the business you've got, how long you've been coaching, and kind of what was going on that got you to the point where you thought you needed some help.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been a personal trainer in person for around 12 years now. I'm still doing a little bit of that because we've got our own studio that we have coaches working in doing PTs from. So I do a little bit of that occasionally, but I really wanted to sort of get into the online coaching industry and that sort of world because when I fell pregnant with my little boy, I wanted that flexibility to be able to work from home if I needed to, or sort of increase my income without having to physically be out of the house and away from him. Um, and it's done exactly that, really. So joined CCB in January and have managed to get the online coaching business to sort of triple its revenue.
That's amazing. I think it's important at this stage because a lot of coaches who have got a job, they haven't got a relationship, they haven't got, much going on apart from their social life outside of work, they struggle. But you and I spoke yesterday about a couple of things that you have done that you maybe weren't doing before that have created this disciplined structure. And I think this is really, really important for people to understand. You've got a family, small family, and a gym and online. What are a couple of things that you do to manage your time? Because that'll really help people understand that when you are busy, you can still add other stuff in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a true believer that you're only too busy for the things that you don't necessarily care enough about. So if you care about something enough, you will find the time or make the time to make it work. So the first thing I had to do was sort of increase my revenue so it was doable to put my little boy in childcare so I could give more time to the business to help it grow, essentially. But managing my time better, having someone keep me accountable and hold me to the tasks that I'd said I was going to complete. So my performance coach and helping me move that needle week by week, um, and actually see the value in the smaller tasks that initially I probably didn't understand or know enough about that out of how important they were. And then actually joining the program, having the coach keep me accountable, taught me to see the value in these tasks. And then I started to
Love
reap the
that.
rewards.
Love that. Well, look, let's look at where you were. We'll talk about where you've got to a little bit later. How many clients did you have at the time? And what was the revenue like at the time when you came to us?
So when I initially started in January, I was sat at around 20 to 25 clients, active clients online. And that was sat at around 4K per
Okay,
month.
great. That's pretty impressive to have got to that point. But when coaches get to 2 to 4K, you're a coach that was getting results, you're confident to speak on camera. It's not uncommon for a coach to get stuck at this point. What would be a relatable sticking point or two of them that you were facing, which other coaches at your level at 2 to 4K and 20 clients were facing that you didn't know existed?
Yeah, I think at that point, obviously, I already had the business sort of up and running, but I didn't have it running effectively and efficiently. And the ability to then be able to sort of scale it with my time, prioritizing my time, but actually learning the fundamentals behind running a business that is making more than 4K a month online, because that is something that was completely new to me, obviously, compared to the studio. Um, I think, yeah, the main struggles were understanding how to sort of grow from there and push things on with the efficiency and the effectiveness of the business, but also how to actually switch my mindset from being a coach to actually a business owner.
So I think a lot of people underestimate the fact that whilst you can be getting leads or you can be speaking to people or you can be getting results, what we always say to coaches, they lack the business understanding of how to run a business and systems. And I think
Yeah,
you said to me one of the things that you were doing for quite a while was you had short-term success, but you were bringing in leads through email that didn't really know you. It was not easy to charge at that price point. So around about that 4 to 6K, I mean, I'm assuming because you didn't have much systems and you were coaching a lot of people, you've got family, and that was time was all over the place. And that creates that limitation that you've got family, you're running between everything, you didn't have systems, and you were trying to grow by email.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So what was the thing that we kind of helped you implement that got you from that 4 up to the 5, up to the 6, that was something that wasn't really you were aware of, and then you started doing it and you started to see some traction?
100% the DM framework and like how to have that chat and actually extract the information from the potential client as efficiently and as quickly as possible, essentially, just getting to the point, but also having that proper chit chat with them in the DMs, which is something I'd never really done before and never needed to until I got to the point where I got stuck and then needed to grow.
Now, a lot of coaches have a bad relationship with the DMs, right? And I don't think we would do any value to anybody just leaving this video and me going, great, you enjoy the DMs, right? People say the DMs, but they don't call out people in the gym that talk to members, right? So was your relationship pretty poor with the DMs prior to this?
Oh, very, yeah, absolutely. I did
Talk
not
me
see
through
the
that.
value in it.
Talk me through it. Did you
Yeah,
think it was
DMs.
cringy or?
Yeah, I think it was part of me that was holding back was thinking, oh, I'm worried what people think about me if I'm sending them a welcome to the page and then trying to like sort of sell to them and things. But at the end of the day, it was having to flip that mindset of we are trying to help people. I'm trying to help someone change their life. It's not cringy. It's not um embarrassing sending them a message to just put out the olive branch. If they choose to take it, they choose to take it. Bonus. If they don't, that is absolutely fine. Someone else will.
Mhm. And that flipping the perspective, was there a pivotal moment where you were like, because I get it, a lot of people don't like doing it. Was there a pivotal moment where you went, no, this makes sense now? What happened? Was it were they replying to were prospects replying to messages? Were you making some sales? There was a pivotal moment where you went, because I think a
Yeah.
lot of coaches have got to get to this point before they go, yeah, it works.
Yeah, I can remember it like it was yesterday, actually. So I remember one week I'd just got off a call with Adam, who was my performance coach, and Adam is super, super direct, which is what I like and really just like to be told, no, do it, stop messing on. Like there's no excuses. And he just said, stick it out for a week. You have to stick it out for at least a week and keep sending them messages consistently and the amount that you've said you're going to send. And when I did that, the following week, it was the most sales calls I'd had booked in, consultation calls I'd had booked in ever in one
Wow,
week. I
wow,
almost couldn't fit them in. I think there was over 15 in one week, and that
wow,
was crazy because I'd been doing one a week prior to that.
wow. So the DMs worked. There was a framework. Why did the framework sit well with you?
So the framework, it was really easy to follow because it was fully you could really understand how you were extracting that information, but also it was really easy to sort of tweak to how I would talk to someone and make really bespoke and personalized to sort of my business and my brand.
Love that. That's amazing. Okay, so DMs was a big thing. Charging your worth was another thing that you and I talked about. A lot of coaches at your level, 2 to 4K, they're doing great, but they've got this issue with charging. What did you do to overcome that?
The first thing I had to sort of rinse and repeat in my own mind was we are charging what we're worth, but we're changing people's lives. So if
Mhm.
you're not charging a high enough price for that, you're underselling yourself massively. And charging a certain price is going to get you the type of client that you want. You don't want someone that wants to pay low cost and doesn't really want to put the effort in. And a lot of the time, the more you tend to charge, and the more you like more worth you have for yourself, the more worth the client sees in you themselves then as well.
I love that. And now you're charging what, 250?
Yeah, 250 a month to work with our coach.
And then that's to work with your coach. Like, so package that up for 6 months. Like, what would somebody pay you roughly for 6 months?
1,200.
Great. So amazing. Then that's you cash in the bank and a committed client for 6 months. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing. Great. So we've got hold of the DMs. now your revenue's gone a lot higher. Let's have a look at where you were, which was 4K, 20 clients. Where are you now 6 months on? That's a stable, consistent amount of income and client numbers at this stage.
So at this stage, we are sat at around 52 clients, so more than doubled. And income wise, it is sat steadily at around between 10 and 11K.
Amazing. And that does that bring you stability, consistency, and you know that that's there? And now with the predictability of your lead generation, you know that that is an amount that you can bring in.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's just about like mapping out them numbers and thinking, right, okay, I know if I put this much into my marketing and I put X amount into this, that brings me this amount of return, so it's worth it. And yeah, it's pretty consistent because some of that is monthly recurring and some of that is we
Sales each
know
month,
if
sales. Yeah, you know, if you
yeah,
do the
we
work,
know
you're going to get the sales. Yeah,
yeah.
amazing. Great. Well, listen, this is going to help a lot of people, but there's two lessons that you and I talked about at the beginning before we hit the record button. That if a coach is around about that 2 to 4K mark, they're around the 15 to 20 client mark, but they want to get to the next level. What are some lessons that you picked up that you could share with that coach that's watching right now?
The first thing would be do the work. It's not going to get done for you. You need to put the effort into the business if you want the outcome that you desire. You have to put the work in initially. And the second one is really just seeing the value in the tasks that you probably currently don't, because the reason you're not growing at this point is because you're not seeing the value in the things that are going to make you grow. So you have to see that value. You have to implement it. You've got to stay consistent and you will see the growth.
Love that. And anything else?
No, I think that's everything, really.
Good, good. I love that. Where you have been able to get to, there's another level, right? You and I talked about this. I'm just going to add this in. We didn't talk about this before the call, but what are two things that you think, or maybe just one big thing, if you wanted to go from where you are now, we're not even going to put a monetary figure on it, to go to the next level for you, what is one thing that you have to let go of or shift to step into the next level?
Absolutely my sort of mindset and thinking of things as a coach and step into the shoes of a CEO that's running a successful brand and business. So
Yeah.
having that sort of mindset shift and character shift, I suppose.
Yeah, I think we just talked about it. It's a character shift, and the funny thing is, once the character shift moves, the lead generation starts to flow. And I say to people, small business owner to company owner, and it's an identity shift. You've done amazing,
Yeah.
Amy. I really, really appreciate your time today, and I know this is going to help a lot of people.
Oh, thank you so much.
Well done.